Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're working on the full deck challenge. Shanuki Art is hosting it. And this is week 2. I'm a little behind, but I'm at the very end of week 2, which is orange. And she does it weekly. There'll be 52 of them all through the year. So it's a very easy challenge to do. And for your sneaky peek, I'm going to show you what I did with the red. That was week 1, and the prompt word was red. So this is how I finished it up. As you can see on my desk is all the goodies that we're going to be using. We're going to do some texture paste, a transparent matte. I've got a couple of dewdrops here because we're making a butterfly. Also, the black will be used with the butterfly. I've got 4 different colors, maybe 5, of inks that we're going to be using to drip over the brick stencil after we get it done. I'm cheating. I'm going to do it on this one, and I'll use that for something else later on. And then I've got one already made over here and dried that we're going to work on next. My other little guy is this layering stencil from Hero Arts. I know I got it at Hobby Lobby. And you make up these butterflies by using 3 different stencils. And this is what it looks like right here. I've got them. I've been using them because I've got 3 already printed out. And we're going to print a couple more so you can see how it's done. So let me set this to the side. And we're going to do the sneaky peek. I just want to show you all this stuff so I can scooch it back. We may also be using some of this Distress Spray Stain, which is tarnished brass, for what do you call it? Splash. I don't usually do that. I don't usually put speckles down or anything, but I think I may for this one. All right. This little background is a really beautiful paper that I got, and it's 2-sided. And that one came out of this, which preserved paper. I got it at Walmart. DCWV. I don't know if they still have it. I grabbed it because I found it again. It's got some beautiful papers in it, and I really, really love them. So I just glued that right down with some fabric tack. And then it was one of those processes where I took the whole 12 by 12 and made a cover with it, because I went and scored it at 3, flipped that up and made 2 pockets, one for the front, one for the back. And then I scored it at 6 and went right down the middle. And I did cut out a wedge here. You always want to do that where the 2 pockets are, because you don't want that extra. And I just used some scrap that I had left over. This is one of those, I think is that a Rita Donnelly flip? Or no, that's that other woman's name. Hermelinda. It's a Hermelinda tag. There we go. The Rita Donnelly flip is that little square you fold in half and you flip it up on the corner. Okay. I always get those 2 mixed up. And half the time I can't even remember. But I went through and I used that same heart that I put on the front and cut some up. And I had these dots that I punched out from when I did the typewriter in my junk journal January. So I just put them here just for something. These pretty papers, I just kind of pulled papers out of several pads. I don't even know if I can remember to tell you which ones. But they're all in pinks, roses, maroons, red tones, you know. I don't know if they exactly go with the red cover, but I thought it would be a variation. Now see, I've got plenty of places in here to write. This would be perfect. I don't have hardly anything in here, so this is basically it. I did make a pocket here. I haven't filled it with anything. I used part of one of those doilies for the top, and I just scraped on one of my little green colors. I think it was leaf something, and I just rubbed it across there and got the collar on there. That's the easiest way I could see. And it actually made little indents where some of the embossed went down in there too. Now, this is one of my crinkle papers. Of course, it's got the pinky maroons in it. Here is definitely some red. That one's a 2-sided, thank goodness. But there's a lot of them that's not, but I don't think I'm worrying about it. And you can see, I just kind of picked things that had those colors. I made a little collage here with just some other things. Here's another one of those doily edges. That was a scrap I cut off of something I made too big. This is a piece of vellum. Uh, yeah, as you can see, it doesn't take much. And I'm just kind of decorating it up just a little bit. She did tell me to make a few things that were like mostly writing. And this is, I think I got 15 papers in here. So it's a 30-day journal. So if somebody wanted it for just journaling, this would be perfect. I got a little heart there. That had a lot of the glitter in it. And this is one of my kind of speckle, splotchy pages. I just kind of threw stuff on it. That one's one of my tea and coffee dye. And, yep, another one of the hearts. I kind of got the hearts kind of all through here. And in case somebody gives it for Valentine's, it will it will fit the bill. That one kind of looks kind of naked. I don't know if I'll do anything else to those. The little circle in the middle really helps it. And then there's the last page. And then here's another one of those Her Melinda tags. And it's where you can write inside. I like this because it had the lines in it. And it's supposed to be like lace, lingerie and lace. But that's all I did to it. So that's ready to go to the shop. And our first assignment here is to, definitely going to get a piece of paper out here of my trash can and use it. I think I might be able to just lay this on here. Okay. This is that tag I messed up the other day when the water treatment didn't work on that, the fairy page of the Junk Journal January. The outline page. Okay, so we're going to use it here. And this is my brick stencil, THSO38, brick layering stencil. So that goes down here. It's kind of warped, so we're going to do the best we can. I can probably just like rip up pieces of this and, you know, use it throughout different things. Clusters, you know, collages, anything like that. Now this is very loose. Thank goodness. I went to get in my crackle yesterday, and man, that is already dried up. History. But this, it may not do so hot since it's kind of warping up on me. But we're going to try. And all you do is scrape it. And you want to go back over and scrape it again, back and forth, to get it to go in. Now, if you wanted it more rough, you don't have to have it do a complete coverage. You can just have like edges showing. And I'm going down through here and just going to, oh gosh, I got it on the table. And I got it on this piece of paper just so it wouldn't. All right, everybody, thank you for coming to visit. Watch me make a mess. We're always into the mixed media anymore. And I'll probably just let this dry, and then I'll come back over this thing again and completely cover the spots that didn't get stuck with any texture paste. All right. Let's see what we got here. I think I got a patch right there. It didn't get any. All right. And then you just want to scrape it right down to the edge. We're going to also scrape the table, and then I'll wipe it real quick. And then you just pull it off. And it didn't do too bad of a job being warped as it is. But here's what you have. You've got like your brick stencil. If you have any sticking out the side, you rub your piece down through there so you get the rough edge off of it. And it'll bow up just a little bit, but then it'll go back down. All right, let me go clean my goodies. All right, our next item of business is, now this is the one I will use for a cover because it's just the right size for my 9x6. And as you can see, I went down through here, and I've got the brickwork on here. I also did a little bit up in the corner, but I did leave some blanks. You don't really have to cover the whole thing. And what we're going to do here, I think, is spray this. a little bit. Just kind of missed it. This is that heavyweight paper that's supposed to be the Tim Holtz one for any kind of mixed media, and we're going to see if it's going to work today. Now, this is red, but here's another thing that I learned in all of my classes is you learn the color wheel. And what happens is red and yellow make orange. You also learn that, what is it? Red and blue make purple. And blue and yellow make green. Right? Is that right? Yeah, I think that's right. Oh, I'm going to have to get a paper towel. Okay. So, and then those other colors, the green, the orange, gosh, that's kind of not giving me much. Is that spiced marmalade? That one was candied apple. This is spiced marmalade, but I'm not getting much out of it. And that's the orange one. Alright, it's not giving me much, is it? But yeah, those other colors, purple, green, and orange, are considered secondary colors because you create them out of the first three. I'm going to have to toss that one to the side. It's not going to make it. But yeah, it was so much fun learning all of this stuff. Now that one's not much better. Oh, tell you the truth, I'm going to save that and put it in with that other one I've got. And we'll soak those in a pan and I'll get some color out of them. But yeah, you learn a lot of great techniques and things in art class. I'm going to go with the mustard seed and see if I can get a little bit more orangey tones in here. Now, the thing with the faces. Now, I don't know if I got into all those faces because of what I learned in class. But we did have a class one time where we were learning how to draw faces. And there are kind of like techniques and rules and things as to how you come about with a face. And it had to do with drawing like an egg shape upside down. So the pointy part was down where the chin would be. Then you took your face and you put a line right down the center of it. A small pencil line. Then you would take, I'm going to do some more yellow, and do 2 lines. One at 1/3 of the way down and one at 2/3 of the way down. So you just had to kind of, you could measure it out or you could just adjust it and eyeball it or however you wanted to do that. But then you would go and put your eyes in across that 1/3 of the way down. You would go across and put your 2 eyes in. And then you would do at the 2/3 of the way down is where you would put your mouth on. And then you would draw your nose on that center line between the two. And, you know, all faces are different. So, you know, some of them could have been a little different. I think I got an orange up here. All right, this may be dried up too. I got a long time ago. Fun Stamper's Journey Orange Creamsicle. So let's see what we got. Do we have... Oh, it's got a little orange coming out on it. So maybe I'll just kind of smear it across the top here and see what we got. What I got going on here now is not doing what I'm wanting it to do. So let's... I wanted it to kind of go across the brick and then leak kind of in between. I believe this paper... this paper's doing that pilling again. That's why I didn't really want to rub on it, but I'm doing what I have to do here to get some color on the blasted thing. Yeah. Let's see if I can squeeze off some color. I love how these people usually do their, you know, backgrounds, and they usually will have a whole lot of color come off, and it'll kind of flow in between, like where the brick is at here. All right, I pulled out a few more colors to see if I could get a little further along here. Oh, good grief. I'm going to write to them about this paper. But I've got Crackling Campfire. That is a real dark orangey color, kind of like that. So we're going to see if this one, oh yeah, look how nice. Nice and deep that one's going to be. Now this is an oxide. I've been using ink, so that's probably where all my trouble came from. But, oh yeah. That'll get me some orange on there. And I'm going to shake it off. I'm not sure where I saw this technique or if I came up with it and then somebody else did it later on. I don't know, but it's kind of a cool technique where you just kind of dribble it and let it fall where it may. Okay. I'm sure I'm going to have to get in here at one point in time and do a little drying because there's a lot of water hitting this surface now. All right. And I may get off and do that. Now, I've also got over here, I may add a little bit more of that, but I've also got over here some wild honey and some rusty hinge that's got some orange tones in it. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to kind of like tilt it and tap it and see if I can get it to run into some of those brick layers, which is what I was hoping would happen. All right, now for a few other colors. And I got to get something in these corners on the up and lower side here because there's not much going on. So yeah, I remember learning that kind of stuff and it was so interesting. There was another thing that we did where we learned perspective, and we were learning a vanishing point. And that was really interesting too. We got to sit in the hallway. We got to sit out in the hallway, and what we were doing was we were having the hallway be our vanishing point or whatever. We sat kind of like right in the center, or you could be on either side. It didn't matter. And then you would take and all of my inks look like they're drying up. Good golly. But yeah, you would take and put a dot right in the center of your paper. Or if it was off to the side, wherever your dot was, that was your vanishing point. That's kind of where it went out into the nether regions, you know. Then what you would do, say I'm sitting in the hallway and I've got the vanishing point right in the center, and I've got like the doors at the very end of the hallway, and then the walls, the top corners of the walls would match up with the vanishing point, and you'd pull that ruler and that pencil line out this way, and that was your top corner of the hallway. Then you go that way, and that's the other top corner. Go down this way, and you would be getting the floor in there. And then you would kind of, you know, put in the doors at the end, so you had the actual end of the hallway. And then we had the lockers in there, and it was all kinds of great stuff. Okay, I'm not tremendously thrilled the way my drip method went. So what we're going to do is we're going to spray some wild honey on here, because I need to get some color. Now, I do like where this brick, this dark red. Now, we might come back in with Crackling Campfire and do a little bit with it, but I need to patch up some holes. Patch up some holes. Okay, now, let's see what we can do with that. And, oh, I can see it already going into there. That's nice. Let me get another. I think this will be a visible spot. Oh, yeah, let me put a little bit more on there. That's what I needed. Yeah. Now, some of these spots are not going to be that visible, but these corners are definitely going to be visible. So I needed to get that color on there. Oh, I think that's going to do it. That's what I needed to do. Get rid of them pads and get some sprays, people. That's where all the answers are. Let me get a little bit of that off of my tray down here. But yeah, that looks good. I put a little water there so it'll run just a little bit, not much. Okay. Oh, yeah. Now I'm going to tilt it from side to side and let it run through the brickwork, through the mortar lines. It's a good thing I'm a brick and block mason daughter. I know those words. So I'm going to let that dry for just a minute. All right, I hit it with a heat gun for a little bit, and I absolutely love how it turned out. Look, I think these browns are that rusty hinge, and there was another one I put on there, and I think that's where the browns are coming from. It's still a little damp, just a little bit, so we'll be working on the butterflies next, so I may have to come back in and hit it with the gun before I'm completely ready to start putting things onto it. But this area in the center is mostly going to be covered, and it was just these edges that we were going to be able to see. But yeah, I really love that. I can't stand that this paper was doing that pilling again while I was rubbing it. I guess it's a no-no to rub it. Don't rub it. Goodness. I don't know what's going on with that thing. Okay. So I am just going to take a scrap piece of this was like something from where I got in West Virginia. But we're going to start first with the Dewdrops peanut brittle. And what you want to do, and you can do this, actually you can do it by hand with a block, or you can do it with the guy I got up here, with my sweet petunia. So let me get these out of the way. And I'm not going to use the block. We're going to do it this way. And I'm going to just cut up a few little scrappies here. And I'm going to actually put a few butterflies on. And you just flip it open. And I've got a magnet here. Now the good thing is when you're making mass amounts of things, that's when it's good to put it in here, because you can butt something up in the corner and then keep printing in that same location, and like take this out and put another piece in, and you're in the same location each and every time, which we may do that. I've never really tried that before, but we'll just do that. We'll take and cut 3 of these and try it. I mean, I got this, and I knew I wanted it to be able to use with certain techniques and things, but I never have really tried it in this concept. And I'm going to tilt him sideways because I got a little mark there. All right, there. And I'm using just a cling stamp, so I'm okay with it being on that level. When you use the deeper orange ones, that's when you want to take out. Oh, crap. Well, that sure didn't hold that on there. Maybe I need to do it across there like that. Nope. Nope. Well, we're going to try it. I don't know. That sticky was coming off. The first one I'm going with is peanut brittle because I wanted the lighter shade. And I don't know if you can see the whole thing here. So we're tapping to get the peanut brittle on there. And then we're going to go across and rub it down. Whee! Okay. And then that's your first layer. And we're going to do 3 of those. So we're going to put each of our layers in here. Whoop. Now that one is not quite right. I cut it too short. I probably cut the other one too short. So let's get in here like this. And cut straight up like that. All right. I didn't have enough room there for it to be on there. Okay. Now, let's go back over, do our peanut brittle, and come back across. Need to scooch up a little bit for you, don't I? Oop, let's get that one out of there. And get this one. Now, if it didn't go with a complete coat, like I can see some gaps in it, then that's why this is wonderful to have. Because then you can go back over it and then come back in. Push again. Yeah, that did it a little better. And then these two were too short, but we got a third one here to use. Like that. And then we're going to get back in with the peanut butter. Yeah, it's always good to have some of these little butterflies made up. And I love the monarch colors. And I thought they worked perfect for this. Alright, so as you can see, we're going to go ahead and go with the first one here. And I'm not going to do but this one, because I want you to not get too bored with this. And I'll do the other two off camera. But you go in and get this extra middle piece, and you're going to want to put it down here. And then you're making sure his little body is like a little body part in there. And that's the only thing I can think to match up in each one of these. So I get in there with that, and I match up that little body. Then I come in with the next color, which is Morocco. Morocco. All right. Go over top of that. And see if I got it right. Looks like I might have been a little too high with that. That's the problem with doing these. It's hard to match them up. So let's try this one and see if I can't like move it down just a little bit. I can actually see this one a little better. Yeah, that one's much better. Let's try that. Okay. Now, let's see what I got. Oh, much better. It's in the body now. Okay. Now let me do the third one. I'll be right back. You know, I think I actually do better when I'm doing the punching or the stamping on my own, because that one's a little off. So we're going to get in here and see if we can get his little body just about right. Oh, there we go. Now this is the step where I use the black. There we go. Trying to make sure everything's out of the way. And this is my VersaFine Onyx Black pigment ink, because I get such a good detail with it. All right, let's see what we got now. Well, you can see where I was kind of off on that one. Okay, let's go to our next one and see if that's any better. This is the one where I had it up a little farther, but we'll see what we can get. Next. I always love to try out new things. Now, I think if I cut that, that's not good. I didn't even get any on that corner. That one's a bust. Let's try this one. But my method of lining them up, is it going to work? I think it's going to work with that one. I think I can see where it's actually going down on top of there, like it's supposed to. Now let's see if this one works out. What, 1 out of 3? Is that good or bad? Oh, it's a little better. So once I cut it out, you won't really be able to tell that I messed up that badly on it. And then there is the other one. So it's a learning game for me. I'm still learning on how to use things. And I think I'm more comfortable using a stamp block. All right, that goes back over into here. It's out of the way. All right, there is a saying on this stamp pad that says, "You are lovely." And I really like that. Now, I took a couple of my scraps, and I've had this since I did the moons, I think. That's where you see that curve coming from. But I'm going to stamp on this. It's got some mica spray and stuff on it. And the colors are pretty much right on. And this is sort of like a football-looking type of paper that I've used in the past. And I think it will stand out real nicely to where that can frame this. And it's all in my orange tones. That's what we are going for here. Anything that's into orange tones. So I'm going to trim this out from this piece. Put that right there. Yep. Well, it's sort of good. I think I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it in that lower corner. I think I pushed too hard. Or rocked or something. Something didn't turn out right. Alright, I'm just going straight down with that one. Kind of the same thing happened. Huh. Can you see the little bit of busy or something that's right in there above the Y and the E and all that? I don't know what that's coming from. Let's stamp it off right here. Maybe it just had too much in it. Actually, I can see something in there. I probably needed to clean my stamp, so that's important. Okay, I just hit this with the heat gun again. I think I got it mostly dry. And if I wanted to be really creative, if this middle area would have shown where I didn't put any brickwork, I could have smeared some of that grit paste through here and created like a buildup that I might have almost been able to leave it the same color. Because if you look at the grit paste, it almost looks like mortar anyway. So that may be an idea for me in the future. Like when I want to use red, where I want to make a cool looking brick wall kind of a situation. Yeah, I could do that. Okay. All right, so we're going to get to working on this. Now, since this is a full deck challenge, I've got to use a card. So the card is, what is it? It's like the repeat item. I think she said that she wanted you to have a repeat item that went throughout the whole series. And you were supposed to have something that was going to be repetitive in it as well. Now, she was using a piece of paper, but I'm using a heart shape. So I've got to cut out a little heart shape from some of that paper where I've got the sentiment. And I will put that on here. Now, this is going to go right down here in the bottom, kind of in the corner. And I'm using my fabric tack on it because I've got sort of a bumpy surface. And I don't know if the Bearly Arts glue will go through the dippy areas. Dippy. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to use my wipe off here to get some of that excess that seeped out. And let's see, what else? Now, I found this on the floor. You know, I don't clean up very often, but it was under my desk. And I didn't know whether to use that or not. I kind of like the idea because I've also got these two circles that were die cuts where I had to cut out something for, I think it was for the Poe journals. And I had to cut these out to get the circles in the piece I was working with. So I got these as an extra. So we're going to use those. This, of course, is going over my card, and you'll be able to see the A right there, and you may be able to see the heart in the middle. But it's a shame it's not orange. But here are our 3 butterflies that I've cut out. I cut off their antenna. I didn't need those. Yeah. But I think I'm going to still use this on here. I know it's kind of a cheat. It does have some like gold, which is sort of an orange tone on it. And she did say that if it had that tone in it, you could use it. So I'm gonna say that I can use it. All right, so that goes on there like that. I'm probably gonna have to, and my little butterflies are gonna go on top as well. Okay, that's gonna go there, and then I gotta kind of figure out where the butterflies are going before I put the flower down, and where the circles, because these are on top. I think I had one this way, kind of like that. One was to go this way, and I don't know if it was going to be above or below the flower. I think I'm going to put it below. And then another one is going to be down here. And I can't remember which way I was going with that. Above or below the flower. Maybe this one, since it's in the front, could go on top. I think it was going to be like that. And then these circles were actually going to be, it was actually supposed to be underneath of this card. Let's see if I can still lift it up. Oh, yeah. Okay. So let me get a little bit of that on here. Let's see if I can get it down. Oh. I have my plan, but then I get sidetracked, or I get ahead of myself. Maybe that's it. Okay. Now let me slide this up underneath of here. There. And then I'll push this back down. And that fabric tack got on the top of that circle, and look at it. It took the color off of it. So you have whatever is in fabric tack. Now, if you have foil, you better watch out, because it is going to take the color out of it. Oh my gosh. So let's go ahead and get this one down up here at the top. We don't have any trouble with him anywhere. Right there. And then this one, he's going to be underneath of the flower form. So he can go up here as well. Right there. I think that was how I was going to have it. And then I did it again. I did it again, people. Oh my goodness. That is going to be under there. Okay. I don't know if I'm just in a hurry or what is going on with me. All right, let me pull that up. And he can go up underneath there like that. There we go. There we go. That's just given, as maybe I can consider that graffiti. It looks like a little bit of graffiti. All right, good enough. Mess with it too much, I'm going to get fabric tack on the top, and it's going to peel everything off. Okay, the next thing we're doing is this before we put the butterfly on. At least I got that right. Right, people. At least I got that right. Oh, my goodness. All right, let me get it going. I'm probably starting in the wrong spot to be getting it going. So let's see. We wanted the A and the heart to be showing. So let me move over just a tad. Oh, and I can see the little heart there. Okay, and I hardly have any to cut off. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got one little nip down there, and I think is it. And that was just in the clear. Okay, and then the last butterfly. Now, I picked that flower because it has some orangey tones to it. And I'll tell you what, maybe I got to do the splatter here in a second. And I think this one needs to be lower. Maybe down here. Yeah, about like there. That's good. I kept my bud where you can see it. And I do need to get our sentiment going. And I think the sentiment's going to go right here on this doily area. So let's get in here and see if we can cut that out. And I need to probably shape it just so I can get it all in there. Let me see if I can woo-woo around here a little bit. Let's see, is that right? All right, and then I'm gonna see if it will fit on there. Will it? I think I need to cut some more off so you can see more of that orangey background. Okay, let's see what I can do here. I'm probably gonna need fabric tack again. And need to get it back down there. I use so much fabric tack when I do anything with harder pieces of material or fabric. It kind of gets used up. All right. And then I'm going to cut that off right there. And then we're going to use what's seeping out of here to put it down. Okay. And I need to come up with my little heart, and it's going to be out of what's left of that. See, I think that's got the perfect colors in it. A little bit of a peel coming off of there. Now, yes, I need to get my heart and cut it right out of this. Let me trim that off real quick. And go down like that. Come back up. Okay, is that good? Yep, that looks good. I just got to figure out where to put it. That's the only thing. And I do know that I want to put some, like I said, splatters on here and some inking. I'm going to get with my, I don't think I want vintage photo. I think I want scorched timber. And we're going to go around the outside edge with the scorched timber and see how that works for us. Yep. I think I'm good with that. And it's not exactly going down that well against this texture paste, but I think I can see something there. Yeah. It's sort of there. Okay. And then I want to go around the outside of my heart. Okay. And I still need my splatters. So I'm going to have to get my piece right here back up here again. And I'm sitting here looking at where I want this heart. Maybe right there. I'm trying to figure out where I could put it where you could notice it. That would be a good spot, wouldn't it? Or would it be better over here? I think that might be better because it's more visible. All right. Just get me a little bit of glue on here. And there. Now, I'm going to probably use this cover on a butterfly journal. I have one I can put together. They love butterflies down at the shop. That seems to be the journals that sell all the time pretty quickly. And, all right, I'm going to get in here. And I don't know if I'm going to try to do it just from the end here. I think I may do that. Try to get the majority of it off. But I would like to have some pretty little splatters. Especially since I like grunge. And I thought this would look like somebody splattered his brick wall. Let me put a little bit on the card. It needs something badly. Okay. Yeah, a little more right there. Well, it won't go there. Yeah. What do you think? For a person that never does splatters, I'm sure splattering. All right, let this dry, and I'll come back and let you see it. All right, I wasn't quite happy with my edges because that is not sticking so well. So we're going with the Iced Espresso Metallic Luster. Now, you have to watch when you're air drying your splotches because it doesn't like this little stick on here. It was bubbling it. It will. And then I had to really watch that. So, and then the metallic paint was sort of bubbling as well, which I've told you about that before. So we're just going to kind of smear this on here, just haphazardly, just so it's kind of not even Steven. You know the drill. I got to get out there and fill that bird feeder again because them birds are eating me out of house and home. Oh, so I've had a little woodpecker or two coming by to enjoy because I had nuts and things also in that bird seed. And they caught on to a good thing and they kept visiting and hanging on the side of it and taking them one and swallowing and then taking one with them. I've also been feeding the crows. I've been throwing some bread out to them. Poor little birdies. It's hard to find anything in the winter to eat. Alright. So, I think I like that a whole lot better. Especially since it's like ununiform. It kind of goes with the splatters. Okay, I'll wash that finger off in a minute. But here we go. Here is our Chinooki challenge, full deck challenge of the week, which was orange. And I know except for that teal in there, that's it needed a splash of something else besides red and green. So I hope you like that and got some ideas from what I did here, layering and the texture paste and the stencil and all that kind of good stuff. So everybody have a great, great day. All my subscribers and viewers, thank you. And I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.